Wake up and you'll find that the global IQ is dropped by 1,000 times. The once universally known 99 multiplication table has become the world's most difficult math problems. The people in the private room continued to mock Chin Fong when he couldn't answer. At this moment, the little fangirls behind Chin Fong kept their mouths shut and didn't dare to disturb his thinking. Referee, there are 15 seconds left. Lin Zhenghao laughed and looked at the fangirls behind Chin Fong, then looked at Chin Fong again. Give up. Do you want money? I'll play with the little girls behind you twice, and the money will be yours. How about it? Chin Fong, sorry, you're not worthy. Is this your level? The answer is 81. Lin Zhenghao laughed again. You're definitely wrong this time. I added 5 and subtracted 5 behind it. Is it still equal to 81? Ha ha. Ha ha, what a fool. Come and make fun of us. Where's the fox demon mask god? I think it's the dog god. Ha ha ha. The people in the private room mocked again. Just then, the red light in front of Chin Fong lit up again. The referee coldly said, the red side answers correctly again, earns 1 point, a total of 2 points. Lin Zhenghao, who was originally confident, looked at Chin Fong and only reacted when the referee uttered this cold sentence. Damn! How is this possible? Lin Zhenghao stood up from his chair. Lin Zhenghao was shocked, his mouth wide open, unable to speak for a while. After a while, he shook his head and said, 9 times 9 plus 5 minus 5 equals the original number? I don't believe it. He was like being shocked by electricity, in a half-dazed state. The people behind him also stared at Chin Fong with incredulous eyes. Their mouths could fit a basketball. How is this possible? Damn! A first grader. Are you sure he's a first grader? OMG. The men in the private room stood still, as if they were shocked by electricity, staring at Chin Fong in disbelief. The first to react were the fangirls behind Chin Fong, who immediately changed their shocked expressions into cheers. Fox Demon Mask God. No! It should be called the Gambling God. Yes, the Fox Demon Gambling God. That so-called score god, can he be this awesome? Fox Demon Gambling God, take me home to meet my mom. Chin Fong shook his head helplessly again and slowly spoke to the still shocked Lin Zhenghao. With your level, you can give up the game. Lin Zhenghao, with a shocked look in his eyes, kept scanning Chin Fong. Give up the game? Is that possible? Even if you answer 2 questions correctly, so what? I can answer the questions you ask. Chin Fong helplessly said, then stop talking nonsense and ask the last question quickly. Lin Zhenghao tried to control his emotions and slowly sat back in his seat. Lin Zhenghao, oomph. 6 times 6 plus 9 times 9. Damn, this question. Damn, isn't this the most difficult question? They actually asked this question. The people in the private room also tried to control their emotions, but dared not underestimate Chin Fong anymore. Chin Fong, is that it? Lin Zhenghao, who no longer had the mood to mock, said, answer quickly. If you can't answer, give up the game. Chin Fong, ha, so anxious? Lin Zhenghao, don't waste time, answer quickly. Chin Fong, aren't you the one who likes to talk nonsense? Let me accompany you. Lin Zhenghao was furious at this point. Answer quickly. How much time is left according to the referee? Lin Zhenghao angrily looked at Chin Fong and then turned to the referee. Chin Fong sneered, you're so eager for me to answer? I won't. I bet you won't be able to answer the question you asked yourself. Chin Fong, as if seeing through something, slowly spoke without moving his mouth. Lin Zhenghao panicked. Answer quickly. Referee, there are 10 seconds left. Chin Fong remained seated, showing no intention of speaking. Lin Zhenghao's face was covered in cold sweat as he shouted at Chin Fong, answer quickly. Aren't you amazing? Answer. Chin Fong still didn't speak, but his eyes were full of amusement. Referee, there are only 5 seconds left. Lin Zhenghao slapped the table. Answer quickly, answer. Do you want your sister behind you to accompany me? The fangirls behind Chin Fong shrank back in fear. Chin Fong remained motionless, sitting in place, looking at Lin Zhenghao with a playful expression. Finally, the referee coldly said, time's up. If the red side can't answer, the questioner will answer. If the questioner can't answer, the opponent gets a point, and if the answer is correct, the answerer loses a point. Lin Zhenghao, realizing that his plot had completely failed, panicked. He looked around in a flustered manner, then started writing and drawing on the table. Referee, there are 25 seconds left. Chin Fong, with your level, you probably can't answer, right? After speaking, he couldn't help but smile at Lin Zhenghao. The fangirls behind him exclaimed in awe, so cool, I love him. He truly is the gambling god. Who needs the god of scores? Ha ha. Chin Fong smirked coldly, thanks for the points you gave me. Lin Zhenghao glared angrily, the veins on his forehead bulging with heavy breaths. His anger churned in his chest, like a boiler about to explode from too much pressure. Lin Zhenghao angrily looked at Chin Fong. Don't be too happy. It's your turn to ask a question, and I'm sure I can answer it. Qin Feng chuckled, with your level, you can't even pass a single question. Lin Zhenghao burst into laughter. Don't think you're so amazing, don't pretend to be something you're not. You're just lucky. Qin Feng stopped wasting time and asked, 5 heavy multiplication x 9 heavy multiplication x 6 equals? Lin Zhenghao, who was still laughing, suddenly paused. He looked at Qin Feng in shock. Can you solve this question yourself? Qin Feng replied, of course I can, unlike you. Lin Zhenghao's face turned ugly. Wait for me to calculate. After speaking, he fell silent, lowered his head, and started calculating. Qin Feng calmly waited on the side. Is he sure he can solve this question himself? But if he can answer such a difficult question, he should be able to answer this one too. I wonder if Lin Zhenghao can solve this question. The people in the private room chattered behind Lin Zhenghao. The referee coldly glanced at everyone and said seriously, there are only 10 seconds left. Lin Zhenghao looked panicked and unsettled. He stood up trembling, his forehead furrowed, feeling like a drum beating in his heart. His lips trembled, wanting to speak but hesitating. After a long pause, Lin Zhenghao shyly lowered his head and slowly said, I don't know. Everyone was shocked by his words. What? The mighty third-grade superpower can't solve a first-grade question? What does Lin Zhenghao mean? What's wrong with Lin Zhenghao? The people in the private room looked at Lin Zhenghao in shock. Wow, I knew he couldn't do it. He can just admit defeat. Gambling god, I love you. Gambling god. Gambling god. Gambling god. Marry me. The fangirls behind Qin Feng started cheering wildly. Lin Zhenghao looked at Qin Feng and said, don't be too happy. I bet you can't solve this question either. Qin Feng coldly smiled. I already said, your level is not even worth one of my fingers. Lin Zhenghao burst into laughter, then answer it. The referee spoke up at this time. The blue side didn't answer, no points. Now it's the questioner's turn. If they answer correctly, no points will be awarded. If they answer incorrectly, the opponent gets 1 point. Qin Feng said, 270. Lin Zhenghao burst into laughter. Do you think you can just randomly say a number and get it right? Ha, although Lin Zhenghao isn't that great, this fox demon mask isn't great either. Does he think his luck will always be this good? Exactly, does he think he can just randomly say a number and get it right? The people in the private room started mocking Qin Feng. At this moment, a red light lit up in front of Qin Feng. Referee, the blue side answered correctly, earning 1 point, for a total of 4 points. This time, everyone present was shocked. Lin Zhenghao was completely shocked by the person in front of him. He stumbled and couldn't stand steady, his mouth opened wide like a box, and he froze on the spot. Then he swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva, as if his throat had gone dry. The people present were also stunned. They were completely speechless, as if they had lost their voices and their strength. Even the judges who had seen a lot were incredulously looking at Qin Feng. The gambling room that was just noisy and chaotic immediately fell silent, and even the sound of a pin dropping on the ground could be heard. Everyone stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. Damn, he truly is the man I chose. Fox Demon Gambling God, you're amazing. Fox Demon Gambling God, you're mine. If there weren't so many people present, these fangirls would have wanted to go up and kiss Qin Feng. Lin Zhenghao slowly recovered. He couldn't believe that he had lost to a first-year kid. He muttered in a crazy tone, this can't be. This can't be. How is this possible? The people around him dared not mock Qin Feng anymore. Some of them were changing their admiring gaze towards him. Just then, the referee announced, I declare the red side as the winner. Wow, Fox Demon Gambling God, I knew you could do it. Fox Demon Gambling God, I love you. The group of fangirls behind Qin Feng started again, and Qin Feng helplessly smiled. He no longer paid attention to Lin Zhenghao's crazy tone, slowly tidied up the gambling coins, and prepared to leave the private room. Just as Qin Feng was about to reach the door of the private room, as if he suddenly remembered something, he turned around slowly. Qin Feng smiled and looked at the people in the room. The questions for the third grade are too easy. I don't know if it's because you're too weak. Next time, try challenging the fourth grade. After speaking, he turned and left the private room, leaving a group of people standing there in disbelief. Did I hear wrong? Did he say he wants to challenge the fourth grade? A first year challenging the fourth grade? Did I mishear? Indeed, those fangirls still followed Qin Feng, and they kept wanting to hug him, but Qin Feng politely refused. When Qin Feng arrived at the hall to exchange gambling coins, he saw Qin Jie smiling at him from afar. Qin Feng smiled back in response. When Qin Feng slowly approached Qin Jie, she smiled and asked, so, did you win because of your fangirl bonus? Qin Feng glanced at the group of girls behind him, helplessly smiled and nodded. Seeing Qin Feng admit it, Qin Jie's face showed shock. After all, a first-year student daring to challenge the third grade was unheard of in the gambling room. and Qin Feng actually succeeded in the challenge. This made Qing Jia, who had experienced a lot, unable to stop looking at Qin Feng in shock. Qin Feng saw Qing Jia's expression and smiled knowingly. What? Do you think I'm cool? I don't mind having one more fangirl. Qing Jia finally recovered and said with a trembling voice, Nonsense, I didn't expect you to successfully challenge the third grade. You're really amazing. Qin Feng modestly smiled, just lucky. Qing Jia said, You're the first one in our gambling room to dare to challenge the third grade as a first-year student. Qin Feng playfully turned his head. Qing Jia, can I challenge the fourth grade next time? Qing Jia and the staff next to her looked at Qin Feng in shock. Qing Jia trembled and said, what? You want to challenge the fourth grade? Even though Qing Jia had strong composure, her face was still filled with shock, and she stuttered a bit while speaking. Wow, the mighty Fox Demon Gambling God. The Fox Demon Gambling God is awesome. Fox Demon Gambling God, you are my god. The fangirl behind Qin Feng exclaimed again. Qin Feng looked at Qing Jia and nodded slowly. What? Is it not allowed? Qing Jia was wearing an amber-colored dress today, which complemented her smooth and tender skin. Her slender waist perfectly outlined the enchanting figure of a mature woman, and her ample chest was shyly hidden under a white undergarment. The simple design of the skirt made her long legs and slender waist even more prominent. Despite this, the shock on Qing Jia's face made her lose her usual charm. After seeing Qin Feng's confirmation, Qing Jia asked again, You've only been in school for a year, and you've skipped 3 grades in the 4th grade. Are you sure you want to challenge that difficulty? Qing Jia paused and continued, The 4th grade is not a joke. People in the 4th grade are already halfway into junior high school. Have you thought it through? This is not something to be taken lightly, little brother. Qin Feng smiled, Thank you for your concern. If the rules don't allow it, then forget it. Qing Jia, feeling ignored by Qin Feng's indifference, showed some anger on her face. I didn't say the rules don't allow it. The rules state that higher grades cannot challenge lower grades, but it doesn't say lower grades cannot challenge higher grades. Qin Feng smiled again, then, I'll challenge the 4th grade next time, is that okay? Qing Jia stomped her foot in anger. Why are you so stubborn? I already said the 4th grade is a height you can't reach. Soon, Qing Jia realized that she had gone too far with her words, so she paused and continued, What I mean is, you can't reach that height yet. Going there would just be giving money to others. You understand what I mean. Qing Jia explained to Qin Feng calmly. Qin Feng, however, seemed indifferent. Then I'll challenge the 4th grade. Qing Jia looked at Qin Feng's stubbornness and stomped her foot in anger. She looked at the group of fangirls behind Qin Feng and said, You're so stubborn, will a few fangirls change your mind? As soon as the fangirls heard themselves being mentioned, they immediately became unhappy. Old lady, what are you saying? We, the Fox Demon Gambling God, will challenge whoever we want to challenge. Who are you to interfere? Exactly, you're not the one paying, so why are you making a fuss here? Are you the gambling god's mother? Qing Jia looked at these fangirls stomping their feet in anger, but she was still in a professional state and couldn't argue with them. She could only endure it. She quickly exchanged Qin Feng's gambling chips for cash and handed it to him. Qing Jia suppressed her anger and said, Take it. It's a total of 2,000. Qin Feng was taken aback. He had never seen Qing Jia like this before. Could it be that she was angry because of a few arguments with the fangirls behind him? But Qing Jia wasn't that petty. Qin Feng received the money from Qing Jia with confusion. In my heart, I won't do something I'm not sure about. Qing Jia looked up at Qin Feng and met his gaze. As long as you're confident. Qin Feng smiled and nodded. Then I'll go first, Qing Jia. Qing Jia didn't respond and watched Qin Feng leave with mixed emotions. The group of fangirls behind Qin Feng followed him. As she watched them leave, the staff member next to Qing Jia sighed deeply. Qing Jia, do you know this person? Qing Jia spoke slowly. I guess I do. The staff member asked, Is he really going to challenge the 4th grade? The 4th grade is already halfway into junior high school. It's a terrifying existence. Qing Jia also sighed. He said he's confident, so let him try. You saw it too. I advised him for so long. The staff member said, Well, he's still young. He doesn't know how cruel this society can be. Qing Jia smiled and didn't say anything more.